So you're saying you're the most important animal in the Bible? More on that in a minute. Hey Kids Club! Today's big idea is that God chooses to love us, and we're gonna get back to that. But first, I've been reading the Bible and goodness gracious, did you realize just how many animals are mentioned in there? Check out this list of animals that are mentioned in the Bible. You've got sheep, ravens, vipers, swallows, locusts, camels, owls, cows, lions, doves, something called a hyrax? So today I'm at a petting zoo to talk to some animals and find out which animal is the most important animal in the Bible.
Over here, over here.
Oh. Looks like we've got our first animal to interview. It's a donkey. Hey there, donkey. Which animal do you think is the most important animal in the Bible?
Duh, it's me.
Really? Why?
Oh, you ever heard of the animal that carried Mary all the way to Bethlehem where Jesus was born?
Oh yeah, that was important.
And ever heard of the story of Balaam, aka the one where the donkey actually talks out loud in the Bible?
Oh yeah, that was pretty good too.
And Jesus rode a donkey into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday. Oh,
You're right. Also very important.
Yep, no need to talk to anybody else. You done found the most important animal in the Bible right here, me.
I appreciate that, but I'm still gonna get a few more opinions from the other animals.
No need.
Okay, I'm still going to.
You found the best, why mess with the rest?
Okay, donkey.
Have I mentioned I love parfaits? Oh, what's that? I'm gonna hate that.
Okay, that was one strong-willed donkey. Let's see who else there is to interview. Hey, it's Chicken! Chicken, I'm trying to figure out which animal is the most important in the Bible. Got any thoughts?
Thoughts? Look no further. It's me. Chickens were the first animals ever.
Is that true?
Yeah, you ever heard which came first, the chicken or the egg? The chicken did.
I think you might be misunderstanding that saying.
I'm shocked. Shocked. Hey, Linda, you shocked too? I'm shocked, Bob, you shocked, John, shocked, Bob.
Oh, what a cute alpaca. Sir, what do you think is the most important animal in the Bible?
Gotta be us camels. I mean, camels carry water. Isn't that right, Elsa? They're great to have in the desert.
But you're not a camel, you're an alpaca.
Gasp, what'd you say? Oh, she got you. You got it, Elsa. Stand down.
Goats! I've got a question for you. What's the most important animal in the Bible?
Maybe goats.
Oh, goats. Why is that?
It's in the name. Greatest of all time. The goats. Oh, okay, I'm out of here.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
What she ask you? What you ask him? What she ask you? What's the best animal? Goats. Wait, what she ask you? Goats.
What's the most important animal in the Bible?
It's goats. Duh. Yeah, goats.
Oh, hey, you're back. Oh.
You gave your answer.
What's the most important animal in the Bible?
Goats. I agree, it's goats. It's always been goats. Goats.
Ooh, sheep. They'll have an opinion. Sheep, what's the most important animal in the Bible?
Ready, girls? Let's tell her. Me.
But since you're all female, shouldn't it be you? Because female sheep are called ewes?
Ignore her. You ought to know that sheep are the most important animal in the Bible.
And why is that?
Well, we're mentioned over 400 times in the Bible. Yeah, more than any other animal. You're gonna love us.
Well, there you have it.
Oh, man.
Thanks for the interview.
I'm out of here.
See ya. Okay, I'm not sure we answered the question because every animal thought they were the most important. So maybe we could ask a person who takes care of all the animals. This is Farmer Tim. He takes care of all the animals here at the farm. What are some of the jobs you do to take care of the animals, Farmer Tim?
I make sure that they have food and that they're healthy and they have a clean place to sleep.
I see. Well, I was talking to the animals and they couldn't agree on which animal is the most important in the Bible. But maybe you could tell me which animal is the most important on the farm. Which animal could you not do without?
Well, to be honest with you, some people really need animals to do the work on the farm. I don't really need animals to do the work, but I choose to have the animals just because I like them so much.
Oh, Oh, okay, so maybe you don't need any of the animals on this farm, but I bet you need to grow things on a farm. To the blueberry fields. All right. Farmer Tim, I don't see any blueberries on these blueberry bushes.
Well, that's because the blueberries aren't growing right now, but just a few months ago, they were growing like gangbusters.
Oh, huh. Well, I know you have strawberries. To the strawberry patch.
Okay.
Farmer Tim, we're in the strawberry patch and there aren't any strawberries.
Well, that's because the strawberries aren't growing right now, but in the summer, there were a whole bunch of them.
Well, I know you have chickens, and I know chickens lay eggs.
They sure do.
Let's go see them.
All right.
Okay, I know these guys do something really important on the farm.
Yep, they lay eggs.
Finally, we found something that actually does something on the farm. So, how many eggs does a chicken lay in a day?
Oh, at their peak,
Yeah.
when all the conditions are just right,
Yeah?
maybe one a day.
One a day? That's it? Farmer Tim, I'm confused. Why do you even have blueberry fields and strawberry patches and chickens if they hardly do anything at all?
Well, let's use the alpacas as an example. I don't need the alpaca to do anything for me, but I choose to have the alpaca and the donkeys and the chickens because I like them. The animals matter to me whether they do anything for me or not.
Oh, that reminds me of the big idea.
What's the big idea?
What's the important thing we're learning about today? And today's big idea is that God chooses to love us.
That's true. God doesn't need people to do the things for Him. He could do it all Himself. But He chooses to love people, and He even lets us help Him with the things He wants to do.
Yeah, God chooses to love us. And we can choose to love Him too. And in a minute, we'll talk more about that very important
say very important? VIP? Yeah, you know me.
See you in a minute, Kids Club. Hey, Kids Club, welcome back. Remember, our big idea today is that God chooses to love us. And we can choose to love Him too. One way you can love God is by taking care of His creation, just like our friend Farmer Tim does. And creation is worth taking care of because God made all of it. He made the alpacas and the chickens and the blueberry fields and all of the earth. And everything God made is worth taking care of. Let's watch a video that talks more about how God created the whole earth and everything in it, including you, donkey.
I knew it.
God's story, creation. So part of God's story is about when He created the world, and it begins like this. Before the beginning of time, there was nothing. Nothing at all. No earth, no light, just emptiness. It was like the inside of a basketball, or a cup after you drink all the milk out of it. But God was there, and He had an idea. He wanted to fill up the emptiness. And guess what? Since He's God, He can make things appear just by speaking. It's like if you said, "Let there be a roller coaster," and then any kind of roller coaster you wanted just appeared. So in the middle of nothing, God said, "Let there be light," and the darkness was filled with light. Now we know what light is, but remember, it had never existed before. Everything God made was brand new. So it's probably like when you're asleep and someone comes in and flips on the lights. Except there were no people yet. God was creating a world for them first. Anyway, light was the first thing God made. He called the light day and the dark night. He made a huge space above water and called it sky. Then He gathered all the water, separated it from dry ground, and called it sea. He called the dry ground land. God called it all good. He thought what He had made was pretty sweet, but He wasn't done yet. All that land was still bare. So God made plants. Oak trees, palm trees, evergreen trees, grasses, roses, sunflowers, and every other type of bush, tree, flower, or plant, including the ones we eat like broccoli and apples. Then God looked at all the plants and called them good. Kids, that includes the vegetables. After plants, God created the sun to shine all day and the moon to shine at night. He sprinkled twinkly balls of lights in the sky and called them stars. And guess what? He called that stuff good too. Next, God filled the water with fish and whales and sharks and squid and every other sea creature. He filled the sky with flapping, chirping, squawking birds. And what do you think he called the fish and the birds? Yep, good. Even though sometimes birds poop on our heads. Now there were fish and birds, but still nothing but plants on land. So God said, let there be animals. And animals of all kinds came scurrying, crawling, snorting, stomping, and racing across the dry ground. And just like everything else, God called the animals good. God was almost done, but he had one more thing to create that he had imagined from the beginning when the earth was still empty. People to enjoy it. So God made Adam and Eve and told them they could eat from the trees, name the animals, and explore everything in his world. And God created them so they never had to feel sick or sad or lonely. It was perfect. God loved all his creation. When he saw the oceans and mountains and stars and valleys, he called them good. But when he looked at Adam and Eve, he called them very good. So good, in fact, that he was done. Now, it was time to rest. And that's the story of creation. So in case you missed it, here's the quick version. The earth was empty. God made light and dark. God made the sky and seas. God made birds and fish. God made plants and animals. He said all this stuff was good. Then he made people. He called them very good. Then he rested. And that's a part of God's story.
So Kids Club, that's our big idea for the day. God chooses to love us, and we can choose to love him too. If you want to choose to love God today, you can do that by talking to him, by taking care of something God made, or by taking a minute to say thank you to God for part of his creation. Donkey, anything else you'd like to add?
Why do you call them strawberries if they don't taste like straw? All this talk about fruit make me hungry. Maybe I'll make waffles.
See you, Kids Club.
I'll make parfait flavor waffles. Ooh, waffle parfaits.